William's reported decision to bar the BBC from airing on its channels an upcoming charity Christmas carol concert involving the Duchess of Cambridge may be the tip of the iceberg in what appears to be a major row with the Beeb. A source has claimed the Duke of Cambridge would have to seriously consider any further projects after BBC Two aired the first part of the two-episode The Princes and the Press documentary. It has been previously claimed the BBC did not allow royal aides to get a preview screening of the programme. Rather, the broadcaster reportedly offered the palace a right of reply by outlining in a memo a series of claims present in the documentary. The BBC's approach to the project as well as the claims reported in the documentary are believed to have angered William as well as the two other royal households. At the end of the first episode of the documentary, aired on Monday evening, the BBC showed a rare joint statement provided by Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, and Clarence House. It read, "A free, responsible and open press is of vital importance to a healthy democracy. However, too often overblown and unfounded claims from unnamed sources are presented as facts, and it is disappointing when anyone, including the BBC, gives them credibility." Days after the first episode of the documentary aired, the royals remain united in their response to the BBC, according to a source. They told the Daily Mail, "It's fair to say that while the response to what has happened is being driven by the Duke, there is complete unity among all three royal households. You really couldn't get a cigarette paper between them. There is a serious issue of integrity at stake here." Another source, described by the Mail as a friend, claimed Prince William remains bruised by the Martin Bashir scandal. They said, "The whole Bashir scandal is still very raw for him, and now this." Express.co.uk has contacted Kensington Palace for comment. An inquiry from Lord Dyson found Mr Bashir was in serious breach of the BBC's producer guidelines when he faked documents to gain access to the late Princess of Wales through her brother, Earl Spencer. Following the publication of the inquiry, Prince William issued a blistering statement, in which he spoke about his incredible sadness at the corporation's failings. The broadcaster's royal correspondent, Nicholas Witchell, spoke of an irritation within the firm at the expense of the BBC. He said, "There is undoubtedly irritation in the royal households, but especially at Kensington Palace and especially on the part of Prince William. These feelings are very raw, and they have been exacerbated by these two programmes, The Princes and the Press." The first episode of The Princes and the Press aired on Monday evening and detailed the media coverage of Prince William, Prince Harry and their partners between 2012 and 2018. It included suggestions negative stories about the Duchess of Sussex had been leaked to the press by royal courtiers. Moreover, it contained claims of competitiveness within the royal households. The second episode, due to air on Monday, is expected to delve into the widely reported rift between Prince William and Prince Harry. Earlier this week, the BBC said the documentary was about how royal journalism is done and features a range of journalists from broadcast and the newspaper industry. On Wednesday, BBC Chairman Richard Sharp was asked at the Voice of the Listener and Viewers Autumn Conference about the claims Kate and Prince William had decided to snub the BBC and instead offer their charity show to the rival ITV. He said, "The BBC is a national institution, and we approach our relationships with the other national institutions with great care and thought. The royal family is at the centre of our identity, its underlying importance is unequivocal. We have tremendous respect for all aspects of the royal family in what they undertake and do. From time to time, this organization produces programs which may or may not meet with full agreement with different parts of the establishment. Our job is to get that right, to be independent, to be respectful." Earlier this week, it was claimed Kate is to lead a charity carol concert at Westminster Abbey in early December while Prince William looks on among the public. The unique show was all arranged to be on BBC One, a source has claimed, but it is now reportedly set to be aired by ITV. ITV's royal editor Chris Shipp reported sources at his broadcaster saying they were only made aware of the offer late last week and that contracts are still being negotiated. An ITV source said of the late commission, It was unusual for it to come to us this late. Mr. Ship added the Christmas special is being made for ITV by BBC Studios, not an unusual practice, as the studios also made a documentary on the Duchy of Cornwall for ITV in 2019. Prince William has collaborated with the BBC as recently as in October, when the broadcaster aired a 5-episode special focused on the Earthshot Prize and its first ever awards ceremony. Princess Diana took on juicing in the 90s as one of the means to maintain a healthy lifestyle, her former chef Darren McGrady has claimed. The late Princess of Wales underwent lifestyle changes in the mid-90s, in particular following her split with Prince Charles, according to the chef. Mr. McGrady said Diana was particularly careful with ingredients used in her meals and eager to try new food trends. Among them, she studied juicing, Mr. McGrady claimed. He told Mashed, she was juicing before, I think, anybody had even heard of it. The royal would often explore new combinations of fruits and vegetables to use in her juices. But the princess did make a serious mistake while looking for a healthy and tasty juice, Mr. McGrady recalled. Diana asked for an all-beet juice to benefit her skin. Despite the chef saying he had tried to talk the late princess out of this and suggested mixing the beets with apple juice or celery, she insisted on drinking only beets. The day before the Trooping the Colour parade marking the Queen's official birthday, Mr. McGrady gave in and prepared the juice requested by the princess. But Diana experienced an unwanted reaction to the juice. Mr. McGrady claimed, Princess Diana came in to the kitchen an hour later, and her face was all blotchy. I think it was a reaction to the beets. And she said, you poisoned me. I said, it's the beet juice. Mr. McGrady recalled Diana's skin cleared out after she drank loads of water. He added, she was fine after that. But after then, we'd start mixing it with apple juice. So she had the beets and apple juice. Mr. McGrady joined the kitchen staff at Buckingham Palace in 1982, where he cooked on a daily basis for the Queen and Prince Philip and prepared grand meals for state visits and official ceremonies. In 1993, he moved to Kensington Palace and cooked meals for Princess Diana, Prince Charles and their children Harry and William. He remained at the princess's service until her death in 1997. Mr. McGrady previously opened up on the more informal style he could adopt working for Princess Diana, who even offered to make a coffee for him not to interrupt his work. In a video shared on his YouTube channel earlier this month, he said, I always suggested 2 puddings for the menu Diana's favorite, and one the Queen didn't like, so I knew the Queen would pick the bread and butter creme soufflé. It worked every time and the princess got it whenever she visited the Queen. Court circular, which lists every official event carried out by working royals, stated on Monday the Queen had delegated a key engagement to Sophie, her youngest daughter-in-law. An entry dated November 22 read, the Queen was represented by the Countess of Wessex at the funeral of the Lady Maclean, which was held in the Chapel Royal, Hampton Court Palace, East Molesey, Surrey, this afternoon. This comes as the Queen continues a period of rest advised by her medical team. It first emerged the monarch had been told to stick to light desk duties on October 20, when she cancelled a planned 2-day trip to Northern Ireland. This month, she missed the evening reception at COP26, the Festival of Remembrance and the opening session of the General Synod. Buckingham Palace had announced the Queen would interrupt her period of rest at the palace to attend in person the National Service of Remembrance at the Cenotaph in London on November 14. However, hours before she was due to appear on one of the balconies of the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, the palace announced the sovereign could no longer attend. A statement said, the Queen, having sprained her back, has decided this morning with great regret that she will not be able to attend today's Remembrance Sunday service at the Cenotaph. Her Majesty is disappointed that she will miss the service. Prior to this year, the monarch had skipped only 6 national service of remembrance ceremonies since her coronation in 1953. 2 were due to pregnancies, first in 1959 when she was expecting Prince Andrew and later in 1963, ahead of Prince Edward's birth. The other 4 ceremonies were missed by the Queen as she was undertaking official visits abroad. Had she attended the service, the monarch would have likely appeared on the central balcony next to Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, in accordance with the royal pecking order. Her absence mixed up the order on the balconies, with Sophie taking a more prominent position as she joined Camilla and Kate. From the balcony, Sophie watched husband Prince Edward take part in the service and lay a wreath of red poppies. Sophie has often been described by royal commentators and sources as one of the Queen's favourites. The Countess joined the royal family in 1999 upon marrying the Earl of Wessex and became a full-time working royal a few years later, after she left her career in PR. She has since gradually gained the confidence of the Queen and, insiders have noted, she has often been chosen as a companion by the monarch on her trips to church when the pair were at Balmoral or Sandringham together. The trust the Queen has in Sophie became apparent in April, following the death of Prince Philip. In the immediate aftermath of the death of the Duke of Edinburgh, Sophie, Edward and their eldest child Lady Louise were spotted visiting the grieving Queen multiple times. Moreover, they updated the public with details about the Duke's passing. And, Sophie told the press, when asked how the 95-year-old was doing, "The Queen has been amazing." A few days after Philip's death, Sophie also released to the press an intimate picture of the Queen and the Duke she had taken while they were all vacationing at Balmoral. The Queen is also believed to be particularly close to Lady Louise and her brother James, Viscount Severn. Lady Louise, in particular, struck the Queen with her love for Balmoral and horse riding, according to reports. And she famously shared with Prince Philip the love for carriage driving, which she discussed in the BBC documentary aired after the Duke's death.